Em Rusciano and Michael Lucas.
I've just been sitting there in the corner clutching my little anxiety blanket.
This is Emsolation.
I'm Michael, I'm from the suburbs, I can't play sport, and would anyone like to watch Aladdin on VHS?
Could I have birthed them? No? Feel free to perv.
I mean, your genes are very strong, very strong.
I can't believe my genes aren't in there going, scat, get out.
You're in Emsolation.
Am I putting a googie egg up my joots? Hello, how are you? Welcome to Emsolation. I'll be your host, Em Rusciano. How you going? If you're in Melbourne, I know how you're going. I've started taking car holidays and I encourage you all to do the same. And also, here's a little tip from me to you. Order your groceries online, then say you're going to do the food shop, and that gives you an extra 20 minutes of car holiday. And in there, you can pop on some Whitney, some Madonna, pop on this podcast. What am I saying? Pop on this podcast in your little car holiday. Oh, I'm just getting messages. Very professional. I should probably start again, but I don't want to. I did something really stupid last night, and I don't know why I did it. It's self-sabotage. I thought that I should probably definitely weigh myself. I weighed myself. It's the first time I've weighed myself since January. And the scales... Look, they don't lie. I have put on, I'm just going to tell you, 6 kilos. I have put on 1 kilo a month since this all began. 6 kilos. Because yesterday, the wonderful women at the project wardrobe department sent me some frocks to try on because I get a bit traumatised trying them on at Channel 10 because I get all sweaty and they just know, let's just send them to Em's house where she can do it in the comfort of her own home, put on 5 pairs of Spanx. And I tried on the dresses that are my usual size and I was like, I can't get these done up. Oh, these sizes must be very small. No, I've put on a dress size. And I know we all have, but I'm someone who, look, I'm a former athlete, pretty fit person, but I'm now heavier than after I gave birth. And, and I know everyone's going Em, you look fine. But within yourself, when if your pants aren't doing up, it doesn't matter how many people say you look fine. And, of course, in the scheme of things, I do look fine. But just within myself, God, when I saw that number, I gasped. I jumped off and then I took off all my clothes and re-weighed myself. So I've just, and then when you lay awake at night and you go, right, well, I've put on all this weight. So tomorrow, new me, new day, new Em. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to eat healthy food. And then you get up in the morning and you see the leftover pizza and you're like, I'm just going to have that for breakfast. I'm always really ready to be healthy at night when I go to sleep. I'm so resolute. And then the next day I'm like, but today I have consciously drunk more water. I did go for a little jog this morning. I do like to do everything at 100. God, it's fine, guys. It's fine. I'm going to just, once we come out of this situation, I'm going to just get so healthy and fit. God. What else has been going on? I've been watching a lot of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which may not be the healthiest thing to do, but it's all I can cope with. But I will talk to Michael about that when he joins us. Michael is very relaxed now because he finally finished his TV show, filming it, and he didn't know what was going to happen. So it's good to have him back. I always know when Michael's super stressed, I don't wake up to 15 text messages because he gets up very early some mornings and I'll get all sorts of things. Kylie Minogue's got a new disco album. Donald Trump said this, it ranges. But I stopped getting text messages when he's really stressed. So they've begun again, which is great because he's my only source of news at the moment because it's all I can go with. I just wanted to say I read something, when sometimes you read little memes and I don't know, this one really hit me. There's this great Instagram account called Female Collective and I really recommend you follow her. And she posted this morning, we're all learning, and what I'm about to say is what I'm taking out of isolation and what I've certainly learned. She wrote, we're all learning that how our life feels is much more important than how our life looks. And I think that's massive. We're all learning that how our life feels is much more important than how our life looks. I really understand that and that really hit home for me, and it's kind of always something I think I've subscribed to, but I didn't realise until someone articulated it. And I think about all the influencers that I follow and all the women, I don't know why, I do follow a few women who have these impossibly perfect lives. And I have watched the tone of some of their Instagrams change, and I think they're having this realization as well. So I just love that. I love that concept and that notion of, if that's what we're all discovering, that we need to feel good, not just look good. Oh, Em, go back 10 minutes to talking about how much weight you've put on. Do you see the roller coaster that my brain is? But I love that idea of focusing on how things feel and more important, how things look. I love that. All right. That's enough. I'll bring Michael in. We're going to talk about, this is big brouhaha about how Nicole Kidman's in a $7 million house isolating, and Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, lovely Jane Seymour, is in, the Mantra or Ridges or wherever it's happening. And people are getting really worked up about it. And you're going to hear me really telling the truth. And just remember, my opinion, it may be different to yours, and that's great. That's what makes the world go round. Look, to give you a little bit of a hint, I don't care. I don't care where Nicole Kidman's isolating. I've got so many other things, but you'll hear that very explicitly from me in the next little bit, and it might ruffle your feathers. That's all right. Again, just remember, just my little thoughts. You don't have to listen. You don't have to believe them, but, oh, God, I'm just at the end. I'm at the end of my caring. My last fuck has flown away. All right, well, thank you for being here as always. I'm going to shut up now, and we're going to bring in my bestie, my Michael, and hopefully you enjoy what's to come. Play the music.
Em Rusciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
All right, well, joining me now, fresh off record, coronavirus cases in Melbourne. And to be honest, he is my only source of news now, because I have given up watching the news because I can't handle anymore. Michael Lucas, what was the number you just told me?
82, I think, but not confirmed yet, but about to be confirmed at 12:30 from very reliable sources. Biggest ever.
Oh, well, at least we're... Go Melbourne!
I love that I'm your correspondent from the outside world.
You are. Like, I get text message from you, usually around 11:15 every day with the number and oh, Jesus, 300 data. And today I didn't receive one. And I thought, maybe that's a good sign. And then as soon as I talk to you, nah, record. I'm like, shit. Yeah, you're the only way I can handle it, because usually it's cottoned and sandwiched in with some great pop culture stories, like Kylie Minogue's. You broke Kylie Minogue's disco album to me, then told me the numbers, so at least you know your audience.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, our text thread just in general is this sort of dizzying mix of the most facile, poppy shit and then really serious stuff. Back and forth, back and forth. And what's really weird is when we're firing back and forth so quickly and the messages are sort of overlapping in a weird way. So one of us is on a weird poppy thing talking about Kylie's eyeshadow and the other one's talking about the number of deaths, and it just leads to a really strange dynamic.
But don't forget also the in-depth analysis of the US elections. That is also people would be reading that text out. By the way, if you're a Russian spy listening, we're very big amongst the Russian spy community. Please don't ever make our text message that they should never see the light of day. I've had to censor myself a couple times, worried about Russian spies getting my phone.
But the good thing is, Em, I have heard that if you politely ask the Russian spies not to, they're very amenable. Yeah. So good strategy there. Yeah, I'm sure we're safe. You haven't, in fact, alerted them to the fact that there would be some really compromising shit on there.
Yeah, and usually about reality TV contestants say, but we also have even said that to each other at the end of a text message. God, I hope a Russian spy isn't reading this. So we've really,
totally.
We're on a watch list somewhere in Russia. We have been, and we've been backwards and forwardsing over the privileged quarantine of some Australian celebrities. So basically, if you want to film a movie or shoot a TV show anywhere other than where you are, you've got to go into 2 weeks quarantine. And Ursula Carlson, the amazing comedian who's going to be a judge on The Masked Singer, has gone into quarantine for 2 weeks. She's come in from New Zealand. Danny Minogue has come in presumably for the same show, but their quarantines look very different.
Yes. What are the nature of the differences, Amelia? Well,
Danny Minogue is in a nice house on the Gold Coast, and Ursula, I'm pretty sure, is either in an ibis or a Meridian, whichever hotel's hosting people. Nicole Kidman has also come into the country. She is not at a Mantra.
No, she's at a Southern Highlands $6.5 million property, I believe.
Yes, and Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, aka Jane Seymour, is also not in a $6.5 million Southern Highlands mansion. She too is in a mantra.
We had to ask a cast member of 5 Bedrooms when we picked back up to isolate a guy from New Zealand, and he did it at the Ridges.
At the Ridges? Look, it's probably not the mantra. I'm just plucking hotel names out. Is it Ridges? Is that the official isolation?
Yeah. We had a couple, and we had the Stanford Plaza, and it was full on. There was no fresh air. That more than anything would be the thing that would get me. I think I could do the solitude. I think I could do a small space. I think I could do the food. But the fresh air, the lack of fresh air, 2 weeks in air conditioning, I couldn't believe it. I mean, even if you're in jail, you can still get fresh air.
I know, it's pretty hectic, the no fresh air thing.
He wrote songs, though. He handled it well. And in fact, people are turning... Yeah. He sent us like a little band camp of all the songs he wrote.
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman's been doing some painting, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's been doing some crafting. Love that for her.
Well, she just closes her eyes and brings the pen to paper and lets what happened would happen and then fills it in later, according to it. So... It's been beautiful to find out about how Dr. Quinn... Jane said we've got to use her actual name, but she will forever be Dr. Quinn.
Medicine woman. Please say her entire
That's right,
title.
sorry, her full title.
Please respect the doctor's 6 years of medical training. Thank you. And did you know that she has an identical twin in real life?
Really? Well, that would be very handy in the film industry for some doubling.
Some trivia for you. I think that's true. That's something I've stored away along with Britney Spears' sons' names. We are going to surprise each other on our opinions on this idea of mega celebrities having different privileges to everyday folk who are just in, chambers. Do you want my opinion or do you want to give yours?
Well, I've got an annoying 2-part opinion.
I love an annoying 2-part opinion. Mine's very quick.
Okay, all right. Hit me with it. Go.
I don't care. In the scheme of things on my worry chart that I'm telling my worry beads as I put them in my sporran, where Nicole Kidman's isolating is not up there. And celebrities getting unfair treatment, yes, this has been happening for centuries. This is not a new thing. Are we surprised? And if anyone is out there stamping their feet and pouting that Danny Minogue's in a palace or whatever she's done, I don't like.
What world have you been living in up until now?
I just feel like I only have a finite amount of energy and I'm not going to channel it into, where these people are isolating. I don't care.
Em's a woman on the Titanic as it goes down, seeing everyone go mad about how only some people get lifeboats. She's like, well, what did you expect? Grab some leftover food and then get ready to swim because that's just what's happening.
But it's like screaming into the wind. Why people? It's like when Kyle Sandilands says something offensive and people get offended. It's like, why? Is this very surprising to you? I would be more surprised if I heard Nicole Kidman was at the local hotel motel eating surf and turf. I'd be more surprised and worried than if she's staying in some mansion. Like, she had to be married to Tom Cruise for 10 years. Hasn't that bitch suffered enough? Let her have it.
I don't know that that's the way I'd frame it. And also, who, hand on heart, among us, if presented with the option, would not take it? That would be the equivalent of someone saying, congratulations at airport check-in, you've been given first class. And you're going, no, I choose in solidarity with everyone, I will fly economy.
100%. If you were told you had to go to lockdown and you're like, look, option A is this beautiful $7 million horses or, so it's fair. So people on Twitter don't attack you. You can go into a windowless cell. What are you going to pick, dickheads? Like, just calm down. Okay,
but should our government be allowing it, though? That's the question. Like, apart from just the individual.
Oh, God, again, they have bigger things, bigger fish to fry than where Nicole Kidman is peeing. Honestly.
We clearly don't have bigger fish to fry, but the government should.
I would rather the government be focusing on treatment, on vaccinations, on, identifying clusters. I don't want them wasting 1 second. I want the form to come across the person's desk, Nicole Kidman in a house, great, check off. I don't want them spending any time on that.
Okay, good. Point well made.
What's your annoying two-part opinion?
Well, there is a gut level where I go, oh, fuck bullshit. This is bullshit. How can there be, surely should be the great leveler. And if you want to come in, this is what you should do. There's that part of me. Yeah. But then there's another part of me that works in the film and TV industry. and I know how critical it is in this day and age in peak TV with the bazillion shows. You just have to, if you want to get a show happening, it has to have a well-known person. It just has to. And so if you're in a position like me these days, you spend half your life trying to attract someone internationally well-known to come and do your project. And often you're only asking them to come for like 3 weeks. And honestly, I've actually literally already had the situation of investigating a cast member who flat out said, I can't, if it's for only a few weeks, I'm not going to come and do 2 weeks in quarantine. I'm just not going to do it. And if it was the difference between a project that might employ hundreds of people getting up or not getting up because you can't attract that one bit of talent to do it, then for sure, if I could find a way to get around that, I would. And I would just think, look, yep, this sort of inequality, it sucks, but it's for the greater good, and they got to skip quarantine and 100 people got a job. So let's just deal with it.
Obviously, in a perfect world, it's not fair. But so many other things aren't fair, guys. For fuck's sake.
Em will lead many revolutions. She won't be leading a communist revolution anytime soon.
But not only that, this isn't the hill I'm going to die on. There are so many other hills I'm yet to climb that I'll probably die on. But I'm not.
You've got every limb stretched out covering a different hill. You don't have another.
I'm not.
You're in a game of Twister with all the hills you're dying on here.
Correct. And this is not one of them. I've been focusing a lot of energy on privileged women over the past 24 hours. I do feel like I've got into the headspace of very privileged women because yesterday when I was cleaning out my bathroom drawers and Scott had the baby and the girls were occupied, I had to make an appointment with my husband because the bathroom was so bad. It was just horrific. I said to him, I need you to take the baby. I need 5 hours. So I went into the bathroom. I shut the door. I got my laptop. I had all the cleaning equipment. I had sorting bags, everything. I did the whole thing. And it was 5 hours work. I watched 5 hours of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
On your laptop as you were doing the cleaning?
Yeah. As I was scrubbing the base of my toilet with an old toothbrush, I was watching Lisa Vanderpump carry her dog around in a $25,000 crystal-encrusted pram. So it was very relatable, but I've oddly found comfort in these ridiculous women, and I can't watch the news and I can't invest in any TV shows that are sad. I can't there's an ad at the moment for New Zealand and it's people. Oh,
that's an insult right now. Don't show us that. We can't book a ticket to go there for Christ's sake.
No, but the ad is even sadder. It's people in New Zealand saying hello to the people they miss.
Oh.
So it's like I can't hug my nan. Hi, Nan. My brother in Belgium. I miss you, mate. And it's just in that beautiful New Zealand accent and them talking about, I really want to hug my mum in Melbourne. Hi, Mum. And it's this ad and I don't know what they're selling. Are they selling misery? Are they selling anxiety? I don't know what New Zealand is selling. But at the end it just says New Zealand, pure something. I'm like, what are you fucking selling me? Tears and heartache? Gin? I don't understand. So even watching the telly isn't safe because the ads are so geared to me missing my family and my friends.
Yeah.
So just the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills have become my safe haven. That is fair.
The bizarre thing is, and I swear this is not at all connected with you, but the other night Adrian, who mostly watches austere art movies from Italy in the 60s, suddenly declared he had to watch Real Housewives. And as far as I know, unless you're colluding with him, this was
we
also
have spoken about it.
Oh, you have?
No,
okay.
No, right. You and I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago and I said, oh, no, wrong. Adrian is an avid listener of this podcast, your husband. He's probably our number one fan. In the intro, which I know you don't listen to because you're not in it.
I do listen to them. I do listen to them.
Well, you missed the intro where I talked at length about my obsession with the Housewives.
Oh, okay.
And I take that catty snipe back. And, I wouldn't listen if I wasn't in it. It's like when people take photos, a group shot, you only look at your own face. But I have really become invested in those women because their lives are so ridiculous and opulent and superficial that I just have to kind of – it doesn't require any emotional output from me. And the shoes and the houses and the gay best friends and How's Adrian finding it? Which franchise is he watching? New York or Beverly Hills?
Beverly
Yeah,
Hills.
it's great.
Right
It's
from the
great.
beginning. He's had to go back in time to a completely different space.
Oh, it's 2010. It's 2010. It's bootleg jeans. It's big belt buckles. It's stripy hair extensions. It's amazing.
Even I, and I'm a real news junkie, even I, albeit that I'm still your correspondent giving you.
You are my correspondent.
But I've stopped watching the obscene amounts of news I used to. And then also last time when we first went into lockdown, I was watching like Contagion and Outbreak. I was into all of that sort of stuff. And now, no way. Take me as far away from that as I can possibly go.
Yeah, you told me to watch Chernobyl. I was like, piss off, mate. You trying to kill me?
I just want wild escapism. And indeed, seeing the cover of that Kylie Minogue album, every gene in me, Kylie's releasing a new album and it's simply called Disco. And the cover is her with extreme blue eyeshadow and extreme blonde hair, looking like something out of Xanadu meets Starlight Express. And I can't even articulate my response other than it was just yes. Take me to disco heaven.
I woohooed. I was like, yes, Kylie. That's what I want. That's what I need. I love you. It's like Gaga totally did it as well. Gaga's album, like when you hear it, we all just dance. We're exploding out of our skin when we play Gaga's new album. And it's a wise move because the second people are allowed back into the clubs, not me obviously, but you know, the younger generation, they're just going to know all the tunes. It's going to be heaving. Like it's so great. And Kylie Minogue finally, I mean, what has taken her so long? This is 20 years in the making, this album. Because you know the song I Want to Be Carried Out To is Your Disco Needs You.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So as you're all lifting my coffin, your disco.
Your disco needs you.
Yeah, that's what I want to walk down the aisle of wherever I am. Won't be at church because the coffin will go up in flames if I'm buried in church. But yeah, good on you, Kylie.
Oh, it's funny how so often it's like the divas don't understand that if you just give us the pure dance disco that I mean, Madonna too, like she'll be doing her, I'll do my folky electronica albums, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like Confessions on the Dance Floor. That's what we want.
Don't overthink it, divas.
Lady Gaga as well. She went through all her folky phase and lovely. But come on, just give us a dance floor banger. We're very easy to please.
Now, look, before I let you go, you are sounding so much more relaxed. I have to say, this has been a meandering banter fest, but you were very, very Thank you for continuing to do the podcast last week because you were filming the last gasps, the last scenes of 5 Bedrooms.
We were last week.
We were worried each day unprecedented numbers were being reported and you said, oh my God, they're going to shut us down.
Yes. We were
and
so
they did
close
it.
to that. They did
You
it. We got to
in?
the end. We got to the end. It meant we were actually meant to finish on a Monday. The numbers were going up so much we pulled it forward to a Saturday because we were just so paranoid about going to a stage 4 lockdown.
And we want to point out to anyone listening, full protocols in place, masks, pods, disinfectant, eyewear.
God.
One point, like it was so safe. Yeah.
We had a cast and crew picture taken, actually pictures, because it had to be all put together. We couldn't stand with each other. It's incredible. I'll post it online actually because it's all of us in the PPE standing, having our individual headshot, and it looks so surreal and kind of amazing. But it definitely was. It was like now that I'm out of it, I realise, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to be remembering that stretch of work for the rest of my life. And it was everyone on the set, obviously except for the actors when they did the scenes, was in their full gear. It is weird how quickly you can sort of get used to it. Like after a while, you just sort of start to accept it, that this is just how things are now.
Oh yeah, it's taken me. Like I went out yesterday to do the food shopping and had my mask on and everything, and there was like more people wearing masks than not, for sure.
Oh,
and every time I saw someone without a mask, I was like, and I'm like, oh, all right, steady on clutching your pearls. It's not even mandatory yet. But I realise how quickly I've adapted to judging people who aren't wearing masks.
Totally. And we also had a catchphrase that came in called the COVID curveball, which was you'd wake up in the morning, early in the morning, because you always wake up early, and you'd find out now what strange thing has happened that's COVID related.
So
and it could be something like someone who was giving us a location to shoot in has got understandably cold feet, so they've pulled out, so we have to rethink all of that. But the most terrifying one was, of course, someone's woken up with a sore throat, because everyone had to have an ironclad deal that if you felt even a twinge, the smallest little thing in your throat, then you just go directly to the hospital and you get your test, and then you completely isolate until the test.
So that happened.
It happened, yeah, multiple times, because you couldn't be too careful. It just had to be anything, any kind of symptom directly away. And early on, we were managing that because the testing was really fast and it was always back within 24 hours. But when the surge happened, the testing blew out. The results were sometimes 3 or 4 days later. Oof. And so we'd be walking towards a day wanting to use an actor, and then all of a sudden they're out. We don't know for how long. But what I realise now that I'm out of it is also the level of even though you tell yourself it's going to be fine, we've taken all the precautions, it's going to be fine, you don't know that. You don't know that. And so until you get that result, until you see that thing that says negative, there's this little part of your mind that is preparing for the moment. And if we did have a COVID case, because we were one of the first ones back, and so we sort of felt like we have to prove to this industry that's so desperate to work, because there's been so little government support for the industry. We have to be the ones that prove that it can happen, to allow the Nicole Kidmans to come in and isolate so that they can make their productions here and everything. So if we went down because of a COVID case, it would be obviously terrible for us. It'd be obviously terrible for whoever was positive, but also it would be kind of terrible for the entire Australian film industry. And so all of that stress was buzzing around us. So to get to the end, let's just say...
Well done.
I drank a lot of rosé, and in my lounge room alone, obviously, I played a lot of Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton's on every day here. That's become my weird... Well, my son loves it. Like, he sits and watches the first half without moving. Hamilton has become my real quarantine comfort food, which is weird, which is a strange thing. But it really has. And when it hits the tallies, whenever that happens, whenever we get 5 bedrooms, because I know that's being debated at the moment, it's going to be fascinating to watch the difference.
You'll never know. I don't think you'll know.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to sit there obsessively picking over it.
What I will do is I will indicate the episodes where the scenes shot post-COVID start to come in. And there's one particular scene that's so amazing. It's the actual scene. The actors involved are Doris Unane and Stephen Peacock, and they were... Weirdly, when they found out we were shutting down, they were told in the middle of shooting the scene. So they were doing this quite emotional scene. They got told, and then everyone burst out crying, and then they had to go back and finish the scene. And I feel like I'll let people know when that scene's on, because it just shows how talented they are, that they just found out this monumental thing and they had to just pretend none of it was happening and still keep going. Maybe it was lucky that it was emotional, because then you could sort of pour it in.
Yeah, true. And before we go, don't bother messaging me or adding me about, but it's not fair, everyone should be in quarantine. Don't fucking bother. I have so much going on at the moment. I don't care. So please don't waste your precious Instagram DMs or tweets or whatever trying to school me on why everyone should be in the same standard of quarantine. Can you hear it in my voice, the level of zero fucks? I can't. I've got to get Elio to a blood test. I've got to manage my other children. I've got to try and keep working. I've got to, like everyone listening right now. And I know that 99% of you we agree. We don't care. We've got other things to worry about. But just there'll be a couple of you who feel the need, like those of you who felt the need to defend Andy to me in DMs, don't bother. Okay.
She's in a good place.
No, I am. I'm holding the space. I'm being totally Amelia from MasterChef on this one. It's just what I think. And if you think something different, good. That's how the world progresses, you know? Is that me being controversial? I don't having an opinion? Am I going to get in trouble for this?
No, I support you. Put on your bright red lip and get out there. Hold your ground.
All right, thank you so much. Have a relaxing day. What are you doing today?
Definitely. We still do the post, all the music and stuff like that. We still do it.
Oh, that's fun.
But that's fine. We do it remotely. Yeah. We sit here on Zoom. It's fine.
More Zoom meetings. All right, good. All right, talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Emsolation.
All right, well, that's it for another episode of Emsolation. Look, I do want to say in regards to the Nicole Kidman isolating in luxury versus everyone else. What I don't think is fair is there was a police presence in the people who were forced to isolate in the towers in Melbourne in the community housing. And I'm pretty sure Nicole Kidman isn't going to be getting a police presence to make sure that she stays in her house. So I do agree that there are some very unfair double standards going on. But what I do want to say is, look, I'm already apologising because I'm worried about what people are going to say. I do want to say I just feel like it's not costing us any money for her to do that. Taxpayers are not bothered the way that she does it. And as long as she's doing it right, I don't care because I have so many other things to care about. Do you know what I mean? I have care fatigue. Perhaps I would have fired up about it a few weeks ago, but now I've just got to pick where I channel things. We hope you've enjoyed all the episodes this week. It was a MasterChef bonanza. What am I going to do now? What am I going to put into my... I do want to talk about Bachelor in Paradise. I did kind of tease that maybe Michael and I would talk about it, but I watched an episode and I realised I've moved into the next generation. I can't watch it. I cannot bring myself to watch these people in Fiji pretend to fall in love, or maybe they did really fall in love. I just find that there's some really sexist behaviour that goes on, and my daughters were watching it, and one of the men 10 minutes in talked about how he was eating pineapple so his jizz tasted nice for the ladies, and my girls kind of looked at me knowing I'd react. I'm like, guys, why are we watching this? This is not elevating us. But then can I judge them when I'm watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Oh, I don't know. But I'm so sorry. I just can't do Bachelor in Paradise. And if you can do it, good. Go and bury yourself in it. I'm not judging you. Just for me, I couldn't bring myself to watch it or invest. All right, well, look, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your week. I did a podcast with Pete Hellier. It's called You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. I think that's the name of it. Yeah. And I talked about how I had never watched Raging Bull. His whole podcast is kind of around, comedians watching big, huge movies they've never seen that are, kind of historically massive. So I really enjoyed my chat with him. He's such a lovely guy. He's someone who's always been very kind to me and very generous. So, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. You can find it where you find this podcast. It's a nice chat. Goes for an hour. Something meaty for you to put in. Maybe while you clean your bathroom. God, my bathroom is disgusting. Isn't it funny? The laundry in the bathroom, the places where things get clean, end up the most gross. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. And we'll chat next week. Bye.